Active since the 1980s, Barney is considered a pioneer of the grindcore. That's heavy metal meets hardcore punk. Barney has been an outspoken advocate of human rights and animal rights. But when up against it, quote, napalm death is not going to punch through the circle. But at least while we're in it, we can make a fucking noise about it and put stuff on the table and say, have a think about it. Let's look at this. And listeners, if you can't tell already, he's an early influence for Freddie. Yes. Hello, Barney.
Hello, yeah. I can't live up to that introduction, unfortunately. It was very concise, you know.
Yeah, this is quite exciting for me. I bought your first album, Utopia. Not your first album, but my first Napalm Death album, Utopia, vanished in 1992. Yeah, you guys were definitely one of the bands introduced me to extreme music. Thank you so much.
And thank you. It's very kind. Yeah. Thank you. No, it's not a thing.
It's my honor to have you in the show. So now I'm gonna ask you a question that people always ask me. So, Barney, you've been an outspoken advocate for human rights. So how do you mix these ideas or feelings into your music?
For Napalm Death to project, you know, not necessarily me, although obviously I do have a personal perspective, of course, I do as an individual, but you know, it's more about Napalm Death projecting this stuff. So yeah, I mean, it comes natural, you know. I like I say, I am that way as a person, and the band was that way anyway before I joined, you know. So to me, it's a natural a combination, personal and collective.
How has it evolved over the years? Have you picked up kind of more topics, more themes, or how does?
Well, it evolves in tandem with the world, you know, because I always think that Napalm Death should be responsive to what's going on at the time. Because the problem is, if you make very generic, general messages, I mean, great, I'll probably support it, but in order to get people to really connect with what you're doing, you need to, I think, talk about things that are part of the world that they live in, because then they feel a direct connection. You know, if it is really generic stuff, then there's a chance that people will say, well, yeah, okay, it's an anti-war album or something like that, but okay, but it's not really specific to anything. So they're less likely to really engage with it, you know, if they've heard all the topics.
Tell us about the album today.
The new album, yeah, I mean, it's as we were talking about earlier on, Napalm Death is reactive and responsive to the world that we live in, the time frame of the album, if you like. So effectively from September 2017 to September 2020. It is fast and furious Napalm Death as it ever was, chaotic sounding, but also sometimes people don't always recognise that the actual Napalm Death influence palette, if you like, is huge. It's very, very wide, you know. Extremity to us, as in extreme music, is not just one or two things. We recorded the album, I was thinking about dehumanized and marginalized peoples, you know, groups of people that live in the population that have always suffered this kind of, you know, dehumanization and separation out from other peoples. But it's got to a different level now. I find that governments are starting to use these tools to increase their power. You know, we've had quite a significant rise in nationalist, populist ideas and governments in the last 3 to 5 years, you could say.
Yeah, I think that's about it. And this is very awesome, and thank you so much. And hopefully that when the borders are open, we can see you tour in Asia and come to Taiwan again. No, you never came to Taiwan.
You know, we came to Taiwan, after a Japanese tour 3-4 years ago. The Wall, I think we played.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And I met some of the anti-nuclear people in Taiwan, which is very, very nice, you know, because there was a lot of anti-nuclear activism going on in that particular club, I think. So
yeah. Anyway, really looking forward to seeing you in Taipei again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
you.
so much.
No problem. I just want to say love and peace to everybody, no matter who you are, where you live.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you for that.
All the best. Thanks very much.
Well, that's
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.